Hello students, I hope you all are doing good. Welcome back to your channel, My Concepts Academy. Today's topic, factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. In our previous video, we were looking at Ohm's law and how voltage, current and resistance were interconnected and how they affected each other, right? What we are going to dive into now is resistance and how resistance is determined for a particular object or material. So let us begin with an activity. For that, we need an electric circuit. As you can see on your screen, this is a simple circuit with a plug key, a battery and an ammeter. As you can see, there is a gap in the circuit XY where we are going to attach different wires and check the reading in the ammeter. So these are the wires which we are going to use for our circuit to read the current in the ampere. Wire A thin nichrome wire of length L, which we are going to use for the first test. Wire B, a thin nichrome wire of double the length 2L, which we are going to use for the second test. Wire C, a thicker nichrome wire of length L. Thicker means a higher cross-sectional area, which we are going to use for the third test. Wire D, a thin copper wire of length L, which we are going to use for the fourth test. Here we are going to evaluate the readings of the ammeter and find out whether the current depends on the length, the cross-sectional area or the material of the wire. It is observed that the ammeter reading decreases to 1/2 when the length of the wire is doubled. The ammeter reading is increased when the thicker wire of same material and of same length is used in the circuit. Also, a change in ammeter reading is observed when a wire of different material of same length and same cross-sectional area is used. Now let us apply this on Ohm's law and observe what is happening to the resistance when the length or cross-sectional area of the wire in a circuit is changed. For this activity, the energy source to the circuit remains constant, which is V. So first let's take the wire a thin nichrome wire of length L. We know the Ohm's law formula is V equals to IR. Here for this wire we have taken the resistance as R1. So R1 we can write as equals to V by I. Here we are going to observe what is happening to the resistance if we double the length of the wire, right? So for this wire we are going to take the resistance as R2. We have already recorded the reading of the ammeter for wire B, which says the current gets reduced to half. So we are going to write V equals to I by 2 into R2, where R2 is equals to 2V by I. We know V by I is R1, which is the resistance of wire A, which means when we double the length of the wire in the circuit, the resistance also gets doubled. Therefore, we can say that resistance R is directly proportional to the length of the wire L. The further the current travels through the conductor, the more the resistance overall will be. Now let's observe what happens to the wire C, which is a thicker nichrome wire of length L. A thicker wire means a wider cross-sectional area, right? Resistance is actually inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area. Let us understand how is this happening. In other words, the wider the cross-sectional area, the easier it is for the current to travel through. You can imagine it like a narrow door versus a wider door. A narrow door has a small cross-sectional area, means all of that current has to jam pack in there and it cannot go fast through the small cross-sectional area. Whereas when you open up the other door, which has wider cross-sectional area, then overall the traffic can move faster, right? Thus, precise measurements have shown that resistance of a uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to its length, denoted by L, and inversely proportional to the area of cross-section, denoted by A. So we can conclude our observation that the resistance of the conductor depends on its length, on its area of cross-section, and on the nature of its material. Thus, resistance is proportional to length divided by cross-sectional area, or resistance is equal to rho into length divided by cross-sectional area, where rho is a constant of proportionality and it is called the electrical resistivity of the material of the conductor. The SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. So what is the difference between resistance and resistivity? So resistance is the property by which a conductor opposes the flow of electrons, precisely electric current. The SI unit of resistance is ohm, and resistivity is the resisting property of the material when the current is applied through it. And the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Let's understand it with an example. Imagine two copper wires A and B. Both are made up of same material copper. So they have same resistivity. We know that resistivity is the resisting property of the material, right? However, wire A is longer and thinner than wire B. Because of its longer length and smaller cross-sectional area, wire A has higher resistance than wire B. This is because resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to cross-sectional area. The metals and alloys have very low resistivity, which is in the range of 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter to 10 to the power minus 6 ohm meter, a very good conductor of electricity. Insulators like rubber and glass have resistivity of the order 10 to the power 12 to 10 to the power 17 ohm meter. The relation between the resistivity of conductors, alloys, and insulators can be given as conductors having the least resistivity as they allow electric current to pass through them easily. Insulators having the highest resistivity because they are poor conductor of electricity. Thus, the resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals, right? Alloys do not oxidize or burn readily at high temperature. For this reason, they are commonly used in electrical heating devices like electric iron, toasters, etc. Tungsten is used almost exclusively for filaments of electric bulbs, whereas copper and aluminium, which are good conductor of electricity, are generally used for electrical transmission lines. Now let us see how temperature affects resistance and resistivity. Temperature can affect an object's resistance, especially an object's resistivity. Increasing the temperature of an object is actually going to increase the resistivity of that particular material. You can imagine it like increasing the temperature is going to make those particles inside the material to move much more chaotically, causing obstruction for the electrons to flow through it easily and reduces the flow of electric current. Whereas when the material is colder, its molecules are more static. It is easier for the electrons to navigate through it, which is why lowering the temperature decreases the resistivity of a material. So with this, we are at the end of this topic. We will come back with a new video where we are going to discuss the numericals and MCQs. Dear students, if you have any topic you would like me to cover in a video, please share your suggestions in the comments below. Your input is greatly appreciated. All the best. Thank you.